It's strawberry season, yay! You may be familiar with the supermarket strawberry that you see most of the time that are super big, white inside, and don't have much of a flavor except for sourness. Well, here, when it's strawberry season, this is what we have. This is what our strawberries look like. You see they're super tiny, they're very juicy, they're very bright red, and they're very sweet. They're super, super, super yummy. Can I eat it? They grow pretty much anywhere along the St. Lawrence River, but the most famous ones are from the Île d'Orléans, or Orleans Island, I guess. It's just off Quebec City, right in the middle of the river where the St. Lawrence gets narrower. That's where the most famous ones grow from, on. See, there's no white. Oh, the cat is all wet. She wants to come in. With these strawberries that I got, I'm gonna make a recipe that my grandmother used to make very often during that season. It's strawberry mousse, mousse aux fraises. There are a few names for that. Some people call them neige aux fraises, strawberry snow, or angélique aux fraises, angel strawberries, I guess. It doesn't really have a translation. So it's just very simple. 3 ingredients, egg whites, strawberries, sugar. To make mousse aux fraises, first you're going to need to wash your strawberries really well and pat them dry. You don't want any moisture, any extra moisture in your mixture. So once your strawberries are rinsed and dry, you remove the leaves on the top with a paring knife and you cut them in half or quarters depending on their size. You put them all into your food processor and you puree, you pulse until you get a very fine puree, adding a 1/4 cup of sugar in the whole mixture while it's pulsing. For this recipe, I used 2 cups of strawberry puree because that's what a whole basket will give me. And for each cup of strawberries that you have, you'll use 1 egg white. So I used 2 egg whites. Actually, I used 3 because there wasn't enough mixture to reach the wire whisk, but don't worry about that. If you're using a hand mixer, you'll be fine. So after you're done with your puree, you can strain it if you want. My grandmother would actually just mash the strawberries with a fork, so I don't bother straining the puree. So once that's done, you whip up your egg whites with a 1/4 cup of sugar and a pinch of salt until you reach soft peaks. That should take about a minute or 2. Once you reach soft peaks, you add your strawberry puree all at once, and then you keep whipping the mixture up until you get very firm peaks. And when I say firm peaks, I mean firm peaks. When you lift your whisk up from the mixture and you flip it over, the little peak that's on the top should not fold over like on a Hershey Kiss. It should stay straight up. Same thing with the peak in the bowl. And if you take your bowl and flip it upside down in the air, all your mousse should stay right in there undisturbed. When it's done, it should also look shiny. We serve this strawberry mousse mostly with a chocolate cake. At least that's what we do in my family. Whenever my mom would make a chocolate cake, my grandmother would make the strawberry mousse to go with it. You could serve it in a pie crust, or you could just make little cups. That's what I do because I don't bother baking a whole cake just for that, because I like that on its own actually. You don't have to make this with strawberries. Depending on the season, you can make this with apples, you can make this with bananas, you can make this with raspberries, you can make this with blueberries. You do whatever you want, really. I hope you go on an excursion in your local markets and grocery store to find the best strawberries to find the best strawberries there are, and I hope you try this recipe. Egg whites aren't that difficult to deal with. It's really easy, you'll see. And don't forget to subscribe below.